offered esports scholarships, and over today, there's approximately 700 colleges that are offering esports scholarships. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. So when I went to college in GCU, they were just starting their esports program. They had some titles like Overwatch and stuff like that. They didn't have anything 2K. So I was hoping, I wish when I was going into college, I could have got some scholarship to play 2K in college. That would have been, saved me some money. But I think it's awesome. It's just so, being able to go to school and get it paid for with scholarships and stuff through esports. I think it's just like that's another reason where it's so much. There's so many different ways where esports can help, students, where it's financially, careers, and people just doing what they love.
Awesome. There is a stat that showcases is individuals that are in high school and middle school that participate in esports, there's about 90% of them never even play in any other sports. So just to be able to see like, hey, this is the opportunity for individuals to come together and play and feel just as athletic as anybody else on the football team or the basketball team. Ultimately, when I see it, Dallas ISD hosted an actual tournament, an esports tournament, and it was 1,100 entrants, registrations that were part of that actual tournament. That is insane when it comes down to high school and middle school esports. Ultimately, how would you like to give back as a coach of Mavs Gaming?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I love, being able to, talk to kids and kind of through my experience. 'Cause I feel like my experience is a little different than most just because, I came from more a traditional sports background and translated into esports and made a whole career out of it. So just kind of, we had a couple of events where we went to a couple of schools the other day and just talking. Just kind of I love kids. I've been a substitute teacher through a K through 8 school.
Okay.
I've coached high school basketball. So I just love kids and helping in the community. Just kind of just so they know they can achieve anything that they want to achieve. Just you got to put your mind to it.
Got to put your mind to it. So, a lot of students ask me this question all the time when we're traveling. We go to high schools and middle schools. It's what are some of your biggest challenges, that you have to face that, and how has adversity helped you become a better man?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just not, really caring about other people's opinions and stuff, whatever it is, and doing whatever makes you happy and what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, you want to make yourself happy. So, people might laugh at your dreams or anything like that. And just kind of, and even like with video games, people might say, oh, it's a video game. But, the paychecks are real, the career's real, and you're doing something you love. So, your happiness is real compared to just relying on, your friends might laugh at you, someone else might laugh at you. But a lot of times that's coming from them hurting and stuff like that and being insecure and stuff like that. So just do whatever you love and, strive for it and just be passionate about it.
Yeah. So, many students and, they have somebody they look up to. Bobby, who is somebody that you look up to that is giving you advice and guidance to help you? And if it's not even just one person, it may be multiple, and likely it is multiple individuals. Kind of speak on those and how they have impacted you to be in the position that you're in now.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just my dad. My dad's kind of always supported me with everything I've done, whether, it went from, I wanted to be in the NBA at one point as a player. Obviously, didn't work it in that route as a player. And then, going to school, he always supported me. I was trying to get into coaching. And then even with the 2K League, it kind of came up. He's always supported me with everything I do. So my dad, and just kind of seeing the things that he's done in his life and changing careers. And he was a director at a culture center. So I just seen all the impacts there where he's helping students and, they have a study hall and helping the community. Just kind of, learn from him and how much he cared about the community, just kind of for me being able to do the same.
Perfect. So this space is for, individuals that are interested in game but never see it in this capacity. There's people here that have like, whoa, this even exists. All these individuals are competing and they're having fun. Talk about, one of the things that you can be able to provide in regards to that of critical impact to that of a student that it may be challenged with that adversity, like with their adversities. Like what advice could you give for them so therefore they can be able to say, man, this is something I really want to do and I know it's a lot of adversity, but how can you get them through it?
Yeah, I would say just kind of the biggest thing is just never giving up on whatever it is, whatever you want to do. I think you'd always say, I want to accomplish this, but there's going to be roadblocks in the way where it might not go the perfect way you want, so you kind of just got to figure it out. For me, that's been with everything where you just take advantage of the opportunities in front of you, especially with this place. I love what you guys are doing here with everything, even from the first time I seen it. And just I love the, students' impact because I feel like for me, growing up and stuff, there wasn't as many opportunities and stuff. Yeah. So kind of being able to have those opportunities, there's so many more people that you can impact and give back and help them get guidance for when they're growing up.
So for the individuals who do not know what the NBA 2K League is, kind of talk in your, your pitch, your 10-second, 15-second pitch. So therefore, individuals can leave here with a perspective of like, I need to follow, your journey within the NBA 2K League and the journey of your team members as well.
Yeah, I would say it's to me, it's like really just virtual basketball at the end of the day. So if you love video games and you love basketball, it's like perfect for that. And even just like the esports stand, like it's a team, 5v5, and we got 3v3 mode and stuff like that. So and just kind of the impact that you got team coming together, just like real sports. You got teammates, bonding, building relationships, and then also just the other side of it is the different opportunities. You got to have social, you got to have content. People can learn how to do graphics. The business side of it, there's just so many job opportunities where it's not just playing video games. There's a business side as well. So it's just so many opportunities where it's at the end of the day, it's just a lot of jobs for anyone and you love video games as well. It's another doing what you're passionate about.
So let's talk about your journey within the NBA 2K League. Talk about from the first season for you, and then where you're at right now. Talk about the differences of that. Kind of give a perspective.
Yeah. So for me, when I tried to make the league season 1. I didn't make it through the combine. Made it to draft pool season 2. Didn't get drafted. I flew out to New York. Didn't get drafted, so I had to sit through that. That was interesting. And then season 3, right before, I played in the Texas Ticket, and then won that, and then got drafted season 3 to the Pacers. It was tough because it was COVID year, but I was kind of like the sixth man. I played a little bit, and then I also got drafted next year by the Lakers. Spent a year there as six-man / coach, so got a lot of experience with that. And then I went back to Indiana as the coach, so that was last year. A really good experience kind of seeing – I've kind of always had the coaching background, but kind of really seeing the ins and outs of everything. And it's not just, it's not just coaching. You got to manage people. You got to, manage apartments and all that type of stuff. So kind of the business side, and then now with the Mavs as an assistant coach. So kind of I've done it all, player, six-man, coach, assistant coach. So
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, so I love it. I love being a part of the 2K League. I never expected to be in this position, but doing something I love.
Season 6, what you're expecting?
Yeah, I'm expecting a good year. I know, we got 3 players. We got to draft 2 more. I'm expecting big things, and obviously we want to win a championship, obviously in both. But I think the biggest thing is just kind of building. I want to make sure we have a good culture, and our team, they're bonding, and they all enjoy each other, and they build relationships not only with us but also with each other. I think that's a big thing. That's one of my big goals for the year.
And one of my big goals, is to actively bring the community together to be able to see the magic that you guys can create. It's very brilliant for them to be able to see like that it's possible. And our goal here at Esposure is to advocate for, NBA 2K League, Mavs gaming, even the pro-am scene in regards to what is happening within the actual 4 walls and also within our geographic location. There's millions of students in this particular area, and we feel as if like we have to be able to showcase you guys' brilliance, because what you're doing is amazing, and everyone that's out there competing their hearts out are just as amazing. And it's our goal to be able to showcase to middle school, elementary, high school, and even college students that this is something that they can actually go in. Stat-wise, the gaming industry is approximately about $300 billion, right? Esports is 1% of that. So our goal right now is to be able to increase that 1% from an esports perspective by showcasing that there are career opportunities out there, and you guys are living it, breathing it every single day, which is really awesome. So, what's a goal for your next season? For the season coming up that you feel as if like it's high, like it's a high goal, but you're gonna just kind of like, you're gonna bite at it every single day, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you're like, all right, I'm finna try it again, to showcase your perseverance that you've had all throughout your journey within the actual NBA 2K League.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing, obviously, is definitely a championship. Last year with the Pacers, we were able to win a 3v3 tournament, so that was like my first time being a part of winning something in the 2K League. But I think with that, like you said, it comes each and every day of practice and everything, each tournament, and 3v3 and 5v5. So that's big. And then I think the community part is just great, just being able to do that throughout the year. We've already done a few, but just kind of once we have all our guys and being able to get them in the community and see them from a player's perspective as well, will be awesome.
Awesome. Anything do you want to say to the students that are looking, maybe in the streams or here in the actual Esposure Studio and Education Center? Any last words that you want to leave them with?
No, I would just say be great, and anything that you want to achieve, just strive to do it, and don't give up on your dreams.
Awesome. Thank you, my man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hello, 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 everyone that's out there. We are back, and this is going to be pretty awesome. There's a huge story that's here that we're going to get into. But my name is Danny Martin. I am the co-founder and CEO of Esposure, and we're here today with none other Dave Fry. What's up, my man?
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Been a while, but I'm happy to be here.
I love it. One of the coolest things right now is that this industry has the capabilities of building authentic relationships with individuals from all across the world. And I've just been so lucky to be able to meet this individual in our backyard from years ago. And to see where your journey has led you, to see the impact not only on your community, your family, but even the community within actual NBA 2K is unimaginable. And ultimately, you've given so many individuals across this actual league the opportunity to say, I want to see or be where Dave Fry is and the accomplishments that he's made. The cool thing about this actual space right now is that for the students that are out there, you're looking and you're going to hear from someone who's done it, who's experienced, who's had trials and tribulations, and has come through a full circle, just like Bobby, from a competitor now as a head coach of Mavs Gaming. And the cool thing about this is that you have the capabilities out there as a student to be able to know that there is opportunities within this industry, from coaching to graphic designing to photography and videography to production and to content creating and even tournament organizing. And so from this perspective, we're privileged to be able to talk and just bring it back. We're gonna make this authentic, all right?
Okay.
So from this perspective, Dave Fry, talk about yourself, just kind of give like another like a 10-second, 15-second elevator pitch of who Dave Fry is.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I started playing 2K. I think I was 20. I might have been 19. And my first time ever playing LAN was at your place. You were in the basement. We were in the basement together, and I think that we had a good group of guys that were in the Dallas area, and to kind of use that platform to give me an idea of what it could be, I think that kind of motivated me. So I'm forever grateful for you, man. Honestly.
Vice versa, man. Definitely. Another thing from my perspective is like, I seen your passion for NBA 2K very early on, and I seen your leadership and the ability for you to be able to, impact your teams and your surroundings. Where did that come from? How did that start from you? Was that something that you just grew up? Is that just because you're from Dallas? Like, how did that even come out? How do you have that true leadership capabilities?
I mean, honestly, I can't give you a straightforward answer. I would just say when I went to college to play baseball, I feel like I sold myself short. I didn't take it as serious as I think I wanted to. I think I underachieved in my baseball side of things. So whenever I got into 2K, I kind of wanted to, take the most of the opportunity. I felt like 2K was such a new thing. It was so different, but there was, obviously money was involved. There was a career path that I thought was really, really cool, and I thought the community was just dope. There, you could play with people from England, play from Germany. I had my roommate from season 1, Haza, man, if you're watching. He was from England, and I think that was the coolest thing for me. So I didn't want to take it for granted. I think that's the biggest thing I would say, and so I would just say coming in, and I just was motivated, and I wanted to make sure if I had another opportunity to do something that I love to do, I wanted to make the most of it.
Yes. Esports community. Who are some of the most impactful individuals that you've had in your life that help you become who you are today?
most impactful individuals. Obviously, I would say you. You gave me the first LAN event experience. That was really, really cool.
That's important.
We're overnight, playing against each other for, $10,
Yeah,
whatever it
man.
was. We're staying up 8, 9 in the morning, man. My parents were like, "Why are you in Dallas?" They didn't know no better. But I would say obviously you, Pat, taking a chance on me, Jonah, my first coach with the Mavs. I just think a lot of people impacted my life in a positive way, and obviously Grant, the old manager for the Wizards, man, he was amazing. So was Andrew. I think I've had some great individuals around me, and I think that's definitely molded me who I am now.
That's awesome. So full circle moment. You're with the Mavs now.
Yeah.
What are some of your you don't have to put the cat out the bag, but kind of give some of your goals, some of the things that you're looking to be able. This is your hometown.
Yeah.
Like talk about how big this moment is for you and what you're looking to accomplish over the next course of the seasons.
I would say just for me to accomplish, man, honestly, obviously I could sit here and be like, yeah, I want to win a championship. That's the cliche thing to say. But the biggest thing for me is I want to build a relationship with every player that comes through, right? I feel like the most success we had when I was on the Wizards was not because we were just good at the game. We had an actual personal relationship with each other, right?
Yes.
And I think, once you can actually talk to people and sit them down and, not about 2K, not about anything, just about life, I think you get the most out of people. You get to know who they are as, as human beings, not just 2K players, not just, whoever you take them as. And I think that would be my biggest, like I say, goal going in. And, if we're good, bad, whatever, I just want to make sure the relationship side where they know they can come to my apartment, come to talk to me, come to my parents' place, they want to go to a barbecue. Like, I want that, man. I want them to feel like when they come to Dallas, they have a second home. I think that's the most important thing, especially being away from your family for 6 months. It's definitely important.
It is. So you've already hit the ground running in regards to getting active in the community. Talk about some of the things you've done so far in Dallas in regards to helping and supporting students and individuals of underrepresented communities and individuals of all backgrounds.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Trey, by the way. Trey Thompson, man.
Trey Thompson.
Shout out to Trey, our community guy, man. He gets it done. Man, he's one of those guys that he comes in every day, man. He's resilient, just wants to help the community as much as possible. And he'd ask me, hey, man, you want to do this, you want to do that? I can't tell a guy no, man. We're going to schools, man. We're, these kids want to learn about this stuff. They're, they're super ambitious. They're full of questions, And so, like, obviously, Dallas Hyper Prep, we just went there last Thursday.
Shout out to Dr. Romero Oga.
Yeah, so, and then the Boys and Girls Club, I think we did that. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I think it was around Christmas we went and did that. I didn't get to go, but Carolee, obviously, she went to the Wounded Warriors. She went out there because obviously we had some stuff that we had to do on our side. But we've done 4 or 5 events already, and Trey's just like in it, man.
Yes.
Like I think we did the food pantry, the Minnie's food pantry. And he's like anything that he's like, hey man, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, why not, man? Like, why not? Because I feel like if he's devoting his time to it, I can devote my time, right? Especially if it's where I grew up at. Yeah, man, I can't say no.
Understandable, definitely understandable. So right now you have the capabilities of winning the championship for season 6. One of the things that's going to be special to me if that happens, but we're going to be behind you no matter what. At the end of the day, we feel as if like you have a story to be able to tell to students, and ultimately them being able to hear it and be inspired to do something even greater is even important, more even important, right? So from our perspective, what would you provide to those actual students as a form of advice? Like what would you say, I'm wanting to take 2 things from from where I've experienced in my life that's going to help them be able to be successful in their life?
Man, the biggest thing I'd say is 2 things. I would say urgency matters, how you go about your stuff, like having like a sense of just like getting stuff done. I think that's a big thing. A lot of people just go through the motions, just collect their checks, whatever it is. I think urgency is huge in any workplace, any job you do, anything. And I would just say trust in the person next to you. I think early in my career when I was on the Mavs and I was my first year on the Wizards, I thought I was hot shot, man. I thought I was, big man on campus. And until I started to open up to people and started to actually try to build a relationship with people, that's when, we got good. And I think, so trust and urgency definitely be the 2 things I'd probably say. Just going through, whatever grind anybody goes through, you definitely need that.
Yes. Would you be able to share a story that you've had from that of a student that you've impacted since you've been in Dallas, or even at any other points of other teams that you've been a part of? Like, share a story to that student or that parent that's out there that's like, I'm not quite knowing if this may be the direction of my student. I'm not knowledgeable enough, but give that story that impacted you, or like something that you've heard from that active student that said, hey, this spoke to my heart to make me want to keep doing this.
Yeah, so we did a community event in DC actually. So we were on the Wizards. We were at it was like a gaming convention type deal, and there was a kid. He came up, maybe 12, 13. It was me, Brandon, and Deanie, and we're sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, man, like, we didn't have much kids come up. It's a huge gaming convention, right? We're the guy. We're not like the focal point, there. So, we're sitting there and we're talking to this kid, and he's like, hey man, how do I get into this, man? I play 2K, you know, whatever. So we kind of explained it to him. So essentially, he would hit up Brandon. He got Brandon's number, and he would text Brandon after every game. Y'all did great. Y'all did great. And then so he got his parents into it. So now I think he's actually pursuing it. I think he's still young. He got a couple years. But I think now he's actually getting into it. So B-Rich actually played in the tournament. He was on the Xbox side. I think it got eliminated a little earlier. But Brandon could tell you the story better than I can. But he that was really cool. Like, just to see, you know, him go home, show his parents, like, oh, I met these guys here. Like, you know, because they could see the face cams, whatever. That was really cool. I think that was probably the coolest thing that's happened to me, honestly.
So let's talk about the growth of esports. How long have you been in the industry?
Been in the industry, I guess that's my 6th year. Yeah, I mean, I guess 7 years if you wanna count 2K17, the road to the All-Star game.
Okay.
We qualified for that. And what's crazy about that was I didn't realize there was a community for 2K. I didn't realize there was anything. You know, I was going to college to play baseball. I just seen a $250,000 tournament, and I'm like, dude, if I can have a chance to play video games and make 50 grand just myself, like if we win the tournament, that's $50,000 just for me. And it's like, in my head, I'm like, why not? You know, right? And so I would say 7 years now. And the growth of esports has been insane. Obviously, from Road to the All-Star game, there was a really small community. You know, people didn't really know each other yet. And now you see the venue, right? You see everything. You see, it's amazing, man. You see everything just kind of unfold the way it is. And even like the tournament in Vegas, tournament in Philly, now in Dallas, like you just see the growth of 2K and even esports altogether. I think it's really cool to be a part of.
So let's talk about some of your job duties as a head coach of a professional esports team.
Okay.
For a student that's like, what does he do on a daily basis? What does that look like? Kind of talk to him.
On a daily basis, a lot of interviews. You know, we're in the interview process. I think me and Bobby have done 49 interviews. I know I'm lying. I think it's 57 now in about 3 weeks. So interviews have been fun. Obviously, you handle, you know, trades. Obviously, you got to run it up, you know, your boss and this and that. But you handle trades, kind of where you want to be at. You know, the draft process, you're kind of the head honcho for that. You know, who you want. You kind of dictate, you know, draft board, where you want guys at. And a lot of scouting, man. You just watch these guys. And the good thing about where I'm at now, I've played against a lot of these guys for so long. I kind of know who's good. I kind of know, like, weaknesses, strengths. Yeah. So me and Bobby both have that advantage, I would say, over some coaches, just because when you play against people, you kind of understand the impact they kind of have on the game. Even if they're not like a big stat guy or whatever, you know, you play against somebody, you're like, okay, that guy makes an impact. Even if he doesn't like put up a bunch of stats or whatever, you know his like presence is on the court.
Yes, I love it. So give everybody out there, so most of the individuals from a student perspective are local. What's your favorite barbecue spot that's here in Dallas?
In Dallas, I love Pecan Lodge. That's solid. I love Pecan Lodge. Terry Black's is a good one, too. I love me some Terry Black's.
And you just brought some awesome barbecue. I can see it from here.
Yeah, I hope it turns out good. You know, like I said, I think it's all right, but, you know, everybody has their own opinion. I can't wait to go back in there and, you know, see what everybody has to say. I want to hear the critiques and whatnot. But, yeah, me and my dad, you know, we got into this barbecue business. Me and my dad and a guy named Zach, and we're getting into it. And I think it's really, really cool. Kind of show what esports has done for me. Now I got a chance to actually retire my pops, and I think that's a really cool thing for me. Yeah. Obviously, my dad was the #1 supporter coming up. I wouldn't say for 2K, you know, but when I was first getting into it, but I kind of reversed it on him now. Now I'm his #1 supporter, man. I want him to go do his thing. So I think it's really, really cool, man. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So leave the students with 2 things that you feel as if like has just impacted you. And I know it's kind of redundant, but I feel like they have to be able to hear it. 2 things, like with 2 words that you may feel as if like you just have to have in regards to being the best human that you possibly can be. Not outside a professional gamer or a profession, but just human.
I would say I don't have 2 words for it, but I got afraid to say be nice. There's your 2 words for it. Be nice to people, man. I think networking is so big, right? Relationships. If I never met you, I would have never, you know, known what was going on. You were a guy who reached out to me. I could have been like, oh, what's this guy want? Whatever. You reached out to me, hey, man, I'm doing this, and I thought it was a cool idea. And I think you start to realize how much relationships matter in any workplace, anything you do, any, you know, college, you know, high school. Just be nice to people, man. I think a lot of this stuff, you know, you start to realize how much it matters when you're in the whole process. But man, it's awesome, man. I'm happy to be here, and it's definitely exciting.
That's awesome. So we got some questions from individuals.
Okay.
So the first question: What's normally required as a competitive NBA 2K League Pro-Am team for teenagers? Like, what if you're teenagers? How do you get into the Pro-Am scene? Like, what advice would you give them to get in the Pro-Am scene?
I'll give them advice in the sense of, obviously, UPA is hosting this event. Try to get in some, you know, WR. You got ADBA, you got MPBA. They got some WR select leagues. Even if you're a guy that doesn't have a team, you can get into these draft leagues and you meet people, man. It's the same with networking. Like, you meet people, you kind of get to understand the community a little bit better. I think there's so many ways now to really get into it, because when I first got into it, I didn't really even know there was a community yet. So now there's so many outlooks. Like, I mean, you got comp. He'll retweet any tweet you put out about 2K. Obviously famous. If you hit up Kurt, LT, all those guys will look out for everybody. So it's so much easier now to get into it. So there's really no excuse. If you want to get into it, you can. You know, there's plenty of outlets to get into it for.
I love it. So ultimately right now, you know, season 6 is coming. You see some individuals out there that you want to bring into the team.
Yeah.
You know, how important are these live experiences for your recruitment efforts?
Definitely important. I think just seeing guys, how they interact when they're up, when they're down, you know, how they act after they lose, after they win, it definitely matters. Obviously, how they perform on stage is how they perform on stage. I think people kind of gas the stage aspect of, oh, he didn't play good on stage. I think it's more about their character, how they hold themselves after a loss, after a win, how they talk to their teammates. Like the listen-ins are great because you get to see, you know, when it's high pressure, a lot of money. Now the real character comes out. It's not the one that's like, oh yeah, let's go. You know, it's not that no more. You get to hear like, you know, the real passion, the real stuff, and that's the stuff that I think matters the most. I would say in the league because you got 6 months with these guys, right? Or girls, excuse me. You get 6 months living, playing, and you only really know these people in the city. So you have to understand that bringing in people that want to be around people that want to be great, I think is the biggest thing. And just, you know, good people, like just people that won't come in every day, work hard, and just want to be friends with people too. Like buy into the team aspect of things, I think is the biggest thing.
Well, Dave Fry, you know, I won't take too much of your time. At the end of the day, we're going to be here to support Mavs Gaming, yourself, Bobby, the team, the staff, everybody. We want to be able to bring attention, community to you guys, and we're going to work our butts off to make sure that that's happening. You know, you definitely got us when the announcement was made. I was like, man, this is pretty cool to be able to see. It was full circle. It's the story that individuals within this actual community should be able to see. And you have the capabilities of now being on the other side and impacting someone's life dramatically. Is that a lot of pressure?
No pressure.
No
man.
pressure.
No pressure, man. You know, you enjoy it, man. It's you know, it's kind of what I've always wanted to do, man. So I couldn't even say it's pressure, man. I'm excited. You know, you just kind of take the opportunity for what it is, man. And if I mess up, it is what it is. Hey, we're gonna keep it right foot forward. We keep going. I promise we'll be all right. So yeah,
I'm learning
man.
so much about this event just in itself. You know, just gotta keep processing.
It was crazy. People don't even know you've done this before. You know what I mean? You've had your own leagues. You've done it before. So just now people that in the 2K community know who you are. They see your face. They know, like, yeah, Danny's a guy you want to have around. Danny's a guy that works his you know, his butt off. I won't say, but he takes care of his business, man.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. You're good. I love it. So, ultimately right now, Trey, come on in here. Dave Fry, this is going to be cool. Thank you, my man.
Kill it, as always. What's up, man?
What's up? Trey. Trey.
What's happening?
So, introduce yourself to the individuals, because you're behind the scenes, but you're in front of the scenes just as much. Talk to them about who Trey is, what Trey does, and what impacts Trey. What makes Trey go?
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? My name is Trey Thompson. I am the Corporate Social Responsibility Manager here for the Mavs Gaming and the Dallas Mavericks. And so a little bit about what I do. I create programs that help continue to bridge our ecosystems for gaming, for community, and to continue to bridge gaps for all of our socioeconomic needs so we can continue to build a more healthy and equitable culture for all.
Oh, my gosh, that's everything. You grew up in Duncanville.
Yes, sir.
You graduated from Duncanville ISD, Duncanville High School.
Yes, sir.
So what are you looking to be able to provide back to Duncanville? Like, how do you feel like you can maximize the opportunities and the support you have from Mavs Gaming to that of your school that you graduated from? As not only just Duncanville, but we have about 7 ISDs in our area, including Dallas ISD. What are some of the things that you want to do to impact the students of those particular schools?
Yes, absolutely. I think the key for me is to continue to build more grassroots programs to continue to address all the needs of our community, whether it's through competitive gaming, whether it's through community programs, whether it's through education, whether it's through, you know, anything that we can continue to do to bridge gaps, but also unify all of our districts. So you think about Duncanville, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Lancaster. Graduating from Duncanville was one thing, but we were all still a part of a larger Southern Dallas community. And with esports and gaming being a unique opportunity to create the next generation of entrepreneurs, you know, your esports immersion program where you're teaching kids how to build budgets. These are things that we have to continue to operate and show these kids that this is real and you can literally build your next future with these opportunities. And we just want to make sure that we're highlighting it so that way people from the outside looking in find more effective ways to get involved, support, whether it's through sponsorship, whether it's through donations, and whether it's just overall just spreading the word, spreading the message so we can continue to build a more equitable world for all.
So for those that are out there, just know, as we talk amongst our teams all the time in Esposure, there's over 200 digital careers in the esports and gaming space. One of the things that you've experienced, how do you feel and make it quick for me, how do you feel as if, like, or what advice would you give a student to be in Trey's shoes?
Don't give up. Stay the course. Know yourself. Do not fall into the crowd. If you have a goal, stick with that goal and follow through and continue to seek positive leadership so you can continue to go forth on your journey.
I love it. Thank you so much,
No,
my
thank
guy.
you, brother.
For sure.
Absolutely.